What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Line of the Stars. I'm Jordan, and we're here today with another episode of the DeAgostini Falcon from Fanhome. Now, this one is going to be a very interesting one. I have been hesitating to move on to the rest of these stages. I've had them for a while. I've been flirting with the idea of doing some mods, and I have kind of started doing a little bit of work with the painting of the corridors, getting some weathering done, but eh, there's a reason why I'm hesitating. And the reason why we're hesitating is because simply I have to build the base for this model, and I don't have the space. I don't know. I had to figure out what I was going to do. Now, thankfully, we have some extra furniture around the house. I have a small coffee table. We have a small lifting desk that we used to use for our Airbnb and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, well, what can I do? And how can I store this in such a way that for the next, I don't know, probably 12 to 15 months, where am I going to be storing all of these? Like, what am I going to be doing? And the answer very simply became, let's go ahead and use that coffee table that we had and modify everything together, because of course. And so I went ahead and set everything up. And in the process of looking at it, I basically have left over from all of the stages that I've been accumulating over time. I have 27 through 31 left. Now, currently, there is a delay from Fanhome. I've kind of figured out the reasons why we experience delays occasionally, and we'll get into that later on. But needless to say, I've experienced one of those points where I know that we're going to get a delay, and it's very simply we're not going to be getting anything. And instead of getting upset about it and, oh, damn Fanhome, I get it. It's completely normal and understandable. I got way too many models to be building at this point. There was a point where I was relying on these models to come in on time so I can have content, and now I've overburdened myself with too much to build. So I'm not too worried about it. If I have to pause on the Falcon for a little bit, don't worry, I'm building another Falcon because, I'm a sucker for building models. And so that being said, however, I do want to get all of our parts, get us all caught up. Basically, I just want to get to the point where I can stop having so many boxes laying around. I got to be honest, my whole closet is full of Fanhome boxes now at this point. The Falcon is taking up 4 boxes right now, and this is going to clear up 2. It's very nice. These are kind of big, important stages, and the only reason we're skipping over 28 is it has to do with the internal parts. And so what we're going to be doing is moving over here behind me. We're going to be moving over there here in just a moment, and we're going to be basically building our base, and where we're going to be building the model going forward for the next, maybe the next year or so. And I may find a different spot for it as we go along, maybe find something a little bit different. But that being said, however, I want to go ahead and get caught up. So what we're going to do is we're going to complete the base, and in order to complete the base, we're going to need to do stages 27, 29, 30, and 31. We're going to be assembling, roughly 9 frame sections, and we're going to be completing the entire ring of the plastic base that we've been receiving in all the stages as we're going along. So let's go ahead and get started. And as we go along, I'm going to be kind of employing, talk and build, talk and build, talk and build, and kind of employ just a little bit of a different sort of shooting technique, and how I'm going to be approaching part work builds going forward. I'm not going to be doing voiceovers for these ones. I'm going to be building and talking as we go along, but there's going to be a lot of little cuts. Just kind of let you guys know. I've been if you guys haven't noticed, there's been a little bit of a slowdown with the way I've been putting out videos. I've been changing the way I'm shooting, and it takes a lot of thinking and thought process to get into it. So enough of all that. Let's go ahead and get going. So next up, let's get building. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on here. I have all of my different packages we need to grab. We're going to stop pretending to put our hull pieces on. We're going to get those into a bag, and we're going to go ahead and get them basically set aside, and we're going to be doing so for the foreseeable future. So that, plus I have all of the different pieces that we need. I've got my screw box out. I've got all of the different little things. I will figure out this camera angle as I go along. I've been kind of struggling, but yeah, this is just going to be where we're going to be doing it. And yeah, just kind of, oh, this is cool. The thought of actually like having this, oh, knocking the camera around. The thought of having this ready to go is a bit of a relief. And I got to be honest, it was my girlfriend who's like, dude, we've got a coffee table. Use it, please. So there we are. Let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and take all of our whole section pieces off here. And with doing so, it's going to be very gratifying because I've been getting frustrated with trying to keep these in place. Yeah. All right, so here's the bag of whole pieces so far. Now let's go ahead and collect them from stage 27. And I'm going to keep the stage 27 parts, actually. What I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the frame piece first here. Make a god-awful amount of noise. The frame. And the little cushion dots there. I'm going to grab the whole piece right there. Put the whole piece inside. Put our dots, other dots that I just found. And I'm going to need the screws, so I'm going to go ahead and put these over here by my screw box. Otherwise, the label is going to go back inside here, so I know which part is which. I've been doing a poor job of keeping all of my parts together, and I've had to do some searching to figure everything out. So, I'm going to put that's going to be 27. Let's go ahead and grab 31 here. So for 31 here, I'm going to go ahead and pull out our pieces. And for 31, we're actually going to be completely using everything. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep that there. Going to grab our whole piece, get it put into our bag over here. And then 31, go ahead and set that in there so I know what we got going on. Number 30. Much like 31, we're going to be assembling everything inside. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab everything out. Set that there. Put that there. And we're good to go. Grab our whole frame, or a whole piece. And just set those right there. Some of our other frame sections. These are from the previous two stages, from 25 and 26. And then, this is a big one, stage 29. This is going to be the center ring for the turrets on the bottom. And we're going to be using this to basically center everything up. Let's go ahead and get this unpackaged. Okay, so I'm going to set my screws over here. For the first one in a while, we're just getting these frame pieces. So I'm going to take the frame pieces along with the card for that one, and I'm going to go ahead and set it right there for right now. Okay, here's our bag of whole pieces. I don't know why I keep calling it that, but here's our bag of whole pieces. We're going to keep adding to this and likely adding more because we're not going to be putting these on until towards the end of the build. I like the fact that we're not going to be trying to pretend like we're doing this anymore. Okay. Let's go ahead and start with number 27. I'm going to go ahead and grab my screwdriver. For this, I'm just going to use a PH0. And I'm going to grab some screw holders here. Now let's go ahead and take a look. So first up, skipping over the interior part of 27. So what we're going to do to start is actually remove all this tape. Thank goodness. Really wasn't working, but it did its job. I'm glad we're done pretending. Yeah. So we have our frame here, which is a good half of it. Go ahead and set this off to the side for the moment. Get this tape unstuck from my hands. Oh, and we got 2 halves of the radial rib, one in each different package. Got it. Okay, let's grab our frame section. And we have our radial rib. Let's grab our other frame section. Another part of the radial rib. Set those off to the side. So now we are going to simply just join these up, just like this. And to do so, okay, so we're going to need a bunch of our black screws. Okay, let's grab some of our copper screws. Okay, now we need to identify which part of this has the threaded section and which doesn't. Okay, so the thread's coming on this side. So what we do is we're going to take a radial rib here, and then we take our copper screws, and they come through on the other side from where the threads are. So you put it in on the non-threaded side. Just like that. You want to get most of the way tight. Grab our next screw. Put the next one in. And you don't want to cinch them down super tight just yet. Then get the other side attached. Now that all of them are in, we're going to go ahead and tighten them down. And being that these are already threaded, we don't need to worry about using our 3-in-1 wood. And the Falcon is pre-threaded, so we're good to go on that front. Okay, our radial rib is put into place. I'm going to go ahead and get this connector set off to the side. Okay, now BF30 is right here. We're going to go ahead and pull it out of its package. Now, very carefully, set everything off to the side. And we got to start working on the big surface. So we are going to... We're going to be working right in this area. So first up, what we're going to do is we're going to take BF30, which is this frame section right here, and we're going to be connecting it right here using 2 black button screws. This one lined up. Not knock all these screws out over there. Okay. Okay. Then we're going to grab 31 here, which is going to be this piece right there. We are going to put it in right here. Looked like that one lined up really nice. So let's go ahead and see if I can get a screw on there properly. Drop in the spot. There we go. Sometimes that works out. There we go. That one's connected up. Next, we're going to grab BF32, and we're going to be hooking it in just like so. Okay, so I have my next screw ready. And then what we're going to do is we're going to align our radial rib just like this. And finding a spot. There we are. We're going to go ahead and get these connected up. All right, so there's our last screw put in. That concludes stage 27, other than completing the assembly jig. We will complete that after we've built all of our frame sections. So I'm going to go ahead and set this magazine out to the side. Let's go ahead and move on to stage 29. Okay, my friends, so stage 29 is, like I said, a big one. So I'm going to go ahead and set the frame off to the side. Going to go ahead and set that card off to the side. And it is a big deal because we are assembling this piece right here. So very simply, what we are going to do is we're going to set this right over the top. We're going to line up our screws and put in 14 individual screws. Button screws, so to say. Let's go ahead and grab one. Let's line one up. Anyone? I don't care. Let's need it to cinch up. There it is. And our first part is hooked in, and man, that's cool. As soon as that came in, I was like, oh, buddy. Was the piece that I was most excited for. Let's get our next piece hooked up. I'm starting down here on the other end, as I feel like probably not a bad idea to do that. Next piece up, pushing up from the bottom, screwing in. I got everything lined up. Okay, we got our last one going in here. And I gotta say, man, that looks really cool. That is something to behold, you guys. Like, that is something to behold. That is pretty crazy how awesome that looks. Oh, man. All the criticisms that I had for the beginning of this model, completely gone. Awesome. Let's go ahead and move on to the next step, shall we? Okay, so next up, we are going to take the frames from, here we go, 30 and 29. Go ahead and toss these pieces off to the side now. I'll keep that there. And I've got some screws. I'm going to need more of those here in a moment. So what we're going to do is go ahead and unpackage all of these. Let's go ahead and get going. And we're going to move around to this portion of the build. I'm going to need some more screws, so let's go ahead and grab, we have a little package of black screws here. I'm going to go ahead and put all of these over here because those ones are randos. Oh, huh. My goodness. Okay, so now we are going to start with BF35, which is going to be, I believe, the big one over here. That's 36. Oh, I was incorrect. 35 is actually going to be the smaller one. Looks like we're going to be starting in the very middle. Oh, now that this is in place, we need to start connecting this together a little bit differently. So we're going to put this underneath. Just like that. And we're going to be connecting up right here, and right here, and right here. So we're not going to be assembling or attaching it here. Just right. So we are going to be assembling it and attaching it right here and right here. So, grab my screws. Gave me 2 at a time because I only need 1. Falcon is always giving. Start wherever I can see a connection made. Start here. There. We're going to grab 34, which is going to be this one. We're going to be doing the same thing here. Okay. Then 36 is going to go down here at the very end. Okay. Now, all screws put into place. That's nice and secured up. Very good. Then we're going to be assembling our radial rib. I've already shown you how to do that, so I will be right back. All right, we have our radial rib. God, such a gross phrase. Made. I'm going to keep saying that throughout this entire build too. Now what we're going to do is we're going to simply tuck the radial rib underneath in between the two screw holes right here. And then we're simply going to screw this in with 5 button screws. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back. All right, our last screw is going into place. Very nice. Okay. That, besides assembling the jig, is... well, the jig is up, almost. We're on to stage 31. We're making some quick work, my friends. We're making some quick work. I like it. I like getting a bunch of stuff done. It makes me feel good. Especially after waiting a while to build this. I've been really excited about doing this. Okay, so now what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to take frame section 36 here. Get that put back over there. Radial ribs already trying to come out. Yep, already trying to come out for sure. And then the two frame sections for stage 31. And we're going to start with BF38, which is going to be this one. And just like last time, we're going to go ahead and assemble this one, and then the medium size, and then the bigger size. I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick, and I will be right back. All right, my friends, I'm getting the last. I got the frames put in place, and then I went ahead and assembled the third and final radial stiffening rib. And there it is. Guys, take a look at this. This thing is huge. Like, this table is just wide enough for this thing. Look at that. My God. This is kind of like one of those times where I think for the first time it's really settling in as to how big this model really is. Now I'm seeing I missed a couple screws right there. Let's check our work, make sure I got everything. That's a good catch. Yeah, this is crazy. This thing is huge. It's huge. Huge. So, that is the frame assembled. So far, we've put in 9 frame sections. Basically, everything up through here. Pretty awesome. I'm going to go ahead and get this set aside. Let's go ahead and get our base assembled, shall we? Okay, here are all of our plastic pieces. I wonder, did I leave some of these? I did. There's some little felt pads inside of my little case here. So let's go ahead and get all of these out. Okay. Now, I can reasonably infer, I say, and how all of this is supposed to be assembled. So let's go ahead and get all of our felt little pads out. I'll put those in later. It's 30. That's 31. So we do know that these two pieces connect together. Just like so. And these are the last two pieces that go together. Excellent. Okay, my friends, lesson learned. I needed to keep track of all of these parts by labeling them as I went along. It took me a few minutes to figure all of this out. So let's go ahead and get building, shall we? So we're going to start with number 18, and that's going to be... One of these I wasn't able to label, but I'm assuming we'll figure that out by process of elimination. 18 is going to be right up here at 12 o'clock. Looks like the tabs face down. And we're going to be connecting up to number 20. It's going to be this one right here. Okay. Then we're going to go to 23, which I believe is the one right here. We are going to take it and slot it into place. There we are. Some bending and pushing. There we are. And we're going to grab number 25, which is this one here. And it was the one that I had remarked about being bent. So we'll see how this turns out. I'm sure it's going to be fine. The dovetails connected up. There we are. A little janky here at the edge, but it's fine. Okay. So there are the first four put together. Here's where things are going to get interesting. That's 27. Okay. Next up, we're going to take the one from 26. Which is going to be this one right here. And we're going to get it attached right here. There we go. And then it's going to be number 27. There we are. So, looks like this is going to be number 30 right here, just by process of elimination, because I figured out that other one is 31. Boy, this is not a quiet process, is it? Or did I get those backwards? I did. Here's 30. And then this piece slots in right here. My God, this is loud. And right there. Wow. That thing is huge. Freaking nuts. Okay. This is going to sit just like that. I want to make sure that I have my assembly correct. Yep, we have that all good to go. Go ahead and get my magazine set off to the side. Now I'm going to go through and get all these felt dots put into place, and we will be right back. All right, my friends, we got our last felt dot put into place. It's a fairly easy process, unlike this. All right, let's go ahead and get our position done. I'm going to get this put in its position where we're going to be building it going forward. So we're going to set that right there. All right, my friends, we've gotten our frame put together. Well, not our frame, but our base put together. I went ahead and put it in its place where it's going to be living for the next little while. Man, it's kind of crazy to think that I'm going to be doing all of my work sitting over here. And I realized that I did give myself a liftable table that I didn't wind up using. So the genius is at it with a capital J, my friends. So now that our part's put in place and all situated, let's go ahead and get our frame put in there. And just like so, there it is. It'll feel like it's sitting in there properly once we get it set in there, just like that. So there it is, my friends. Our frame is all assembled. Our base is all put together, and we're ready to be building our model over here going forward. And I gotta say, that's pretty damn cool, you guys. Like, this has been a big, big build, a big culmination of a lot of different parts, and a culmination of basically all 30 stages that we have built so far. So, we've crossed the 30% mark. We're here. It's time to move on into phase 2 of this model, which is going to be building up as we finish up the interior corridor in the next episode. So, I just want to say thank you. I know that there's a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me watching me build a model, which I think is pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions, comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. If you'd like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world wherever you happen to be. And just remember that the Force is one with you, and that you are one with the Force.